make millions.
And you make money.
24.
We could write a great script for you.
Speak for yourself.
Saying you want that to be a Netflix show, or would you rather?
I don't like Netflix
You
very
like
much.
Netflix?
Oh,
So,
big
Amazon,
screen.
Right,
I
it's
was
kind of
thinking maybe we
hard,
could find something.
Disney Plus?
Is Parler starting their own?
right? Is somebody doing their own?
Yeah, I'm not too big a fan of Parler right now either,
Oh, I haven't tried it, so.
Well,
because everybody goes nuts. Are we ready?
we are on, but it's 8:59.
How you doing, bud?
It's not quite 9.
Quite nice.
We
Oh,
are
Okay.
unmuted.
we're ready?
We are unmuted.
All right, very good. Hopefully the technology works for us this morning. Let's call this meeting of the Marion County Board of Supervisors to order. Roll call. Jake?
Lisa Johnner,
Here,
Mark Ramey,
Here.
Stephen Combs. Here.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion to approve this morning's agenda.
make motion we approve today's agenda.
Second. Combs. Aye. Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
Very good. Jake, any communications received by your office?
No, sir.
Very good. On to public comments. This is the portion of the agenda to speak on items not on this morning's agenda. The board cannot act on those items, but they could be topics for future Board of Supervisor meetings. Are there any public comments, items not on this morning's agenda? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. We'll entertain a motion for this morning's consent agenda.
Make motion we approve today's consent agenda.
Second. Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
Combs. Aye.
Good, thank you. On to business. First, we have Resolution 2020-76, and this is appointing a paying agent, transfer agent, and Jake, this has to do with?
This has to do with the bonds that we're selling, the county is selling for the Prairie Ridge. This is, I believe, one of the final pieces. Authorization of these two, next two resolutions, I believe, authorizes this, the signage of this packet that was sent for today with the actual bonds and all the documents for paying agents and disclosures and all those forms. So this is maybe the final or nearly the final step of this process of that you guys have been going through for the Prairie Ridge bonds. So if this is approved, you and I need to go through all these.
We got a few things to sign. All
Yes.
right, very good. Yeah, so the last couple of steps as we work through issuance of the bonds and working with Michael. I don't know if Michael is on.
I don't know if, I have not spoken with, oh, he is.
Are you done? Michael, anything you want to add to these next two items?
Yep, Jake's exactly right. These are the last two administrative steps. Closing will not require a separate board meeting. We'll get all that taken care of on the 10th, and have been working with staff to make that a smooth process. This action item here on this resolution, UMB Bank purchased Bankers Trust Department last summer. So it's the same group of folks that you've worked with on the previous bonds that you have outstanding. It's just you need to do this for each new issue. So this is just a standard process to help the same folks that help with your payments going forward.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Michael. Keisha, Steve, any questions for Michael or Jake?
I don't.
This just has to do with the Prairie Ridge development, that's not the LEC.
No, just Prairie Ridge.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve, we didn't do anything with the LAC bonds.
Okay.
The refunding stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Seeing none? Okay. That I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2020-76.
Make motion we approve resolution 2020-76.
Second.
Jake?
Johnner.
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Ramey.
Aye. Very good, thank you. Next item, Resolution 2020-77, as we just indicated, again, another administrative step for the Prairie Ridge financing that we have discussed. Any discussion? musical interlude.
Right. No, I don't have anything.
All right. If there's no discussion, entertain a motion to approve 2020-77.
Make motion we approve resolution 2020-77.
Second.
All right, motion and support. Jake?
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner,
Aye.
All right, very good. Thank you. Michael, thank you for jumping on this morning.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, folks. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
And you
Take care.
too. You as well. Thank you. Next, we'll declare the public hearing open. This is proposed zoning ordinance 2020-67. You can see the description in the agenda this morning. Missy, are you on?
Yes, Mark, I'm here. So this is a proposed rezoning to allow for a minor subdivision, which is the next agenda item. This proposed rezoning is to ag residential on a parcel of land where there will be more than 4 dwellings on this tract of land.
Sorry, I forgot I have to watch that.
Sorry, I got it. I got it muted. You're okay, Missy. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Missy.
Okay, so this parcel is north of Highway 92, just south of Dubuque. 28 acre parcel. It's split into 4 tracts, ranging in sizes from 4.63 to 8.60. This proposal to go to ag residential from A1 does fit within the comprehensive land use plan, which is agricultural. This is also in an area that is predominantly ag residential properties. There's more than 20 current ag or rural residential properties, most of which were split before the requirement to rezone to ag residential. So does meet all of our requirements to rezone to ag residential.
Okay. This is the public hearing portion, so are there any comments from the public on this item? And Missy, this went before your board and full review of zoning board, et cetera?
It did on November 17th. It went before the zoning commission and got approval. So and we are asking to waive readings 2 and 3. There was no public communication from any of the property owners that were notified within 500 feet.
Okay,
Okay, yep, I was wondering on
very
that.
good. Was that?
Yep, that was my question. Yep. Thank you for answering
Very
that.
good.
Missy.
Again, if there is no public comment, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Make motion we close the public hearing.
Second.
Second.
Steve can have it. I'll give it to Steve.
I was reading this.
That's all right.
Okay, motion by Johnner and second by McCombs.
Missy, is this south of Swan?
It is south of Swan.
Okay.
It's over, if I tell you, it's just south of where Lonnie King used to live.
Oh, yeah, I know where
South
that's
of
at.
Dubuque. Yep. So 316, so the other side of 316 is Warren County and the side's Marion County.
Okay.
That's why, even though it's only 28 acres, it is a tract, it's kind of a fractional, not meeting the 40 acre require, or 40 acre.
Okay. We have a motion and support for closing the public hearing. Jake?
Ramey,
Aye?
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Very good. 2020-67, this is item to approve the first reading of the proposed ordinance, 2020-67. Is there a motion?
Make the motion to approve ordinance 2020-67.
Second.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye? Item number 5 is an item to waive second and third reading of the proposed ordinance 2020-67 and approve final approval, amending zoning map and authorization of publication. Is there a motion?
Make motion to approve ordinance 2020-67, waive second and third reading, and authorization of the final publication, final approval, and final publication.
Second?
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
All right, next item is the South River Estates subdivision plat. Missy?
Missy, you're muted.
Okay, again, the same tract of land that you just, the proposed rezoning, just passed the rezoning on. This is required because of the fact that there is already a dwelling in this tract, and they're proposing 4 more lots. The lots range in size from 4.63, 5.94, 6.88, and an 8.60. There, 2 of the lots 4 and 3 will have a joint. They both have lot frontage and meet the minimum requirements, but they will share an access. That's the preferred access from the DOT. They have a joint approved access. Lot 1 has an access off of an existing access off of Highway 316. And then Lot 2 has an approved access from the Marion County Engineer's Office. The subdivision plat meets all the minimum standards. I have all of the required paperwork to have this recorded, the treasurer's certificate, the attorney's opinion, mortgage consent to plat, the dedication and consent of plat, and then the approval of the subdivision plat name from the auditor's office. So, yeah, it's good to go, and it meets all of our minimum standards.
Discussion? Steve, Keisha?
Missy, just clarify again. So lots 3 and 4, one of them will share?
They will have lots 3 and 4 because this is the preferred, instead of having 2 driveways side by side, for the DOT, they prefer that they share. There will be an easement in place. They do, however, have the minimum frontage if there would need be 2 separate driveways. Lot 4 also has a current septic easement for parcel A, which would be the Taylor property to the south. There's currently laterals on that property, which are also in the area where if that septic's to ever be replaced, it would be required to be on parcel A and not on lot 4. But that's also where an acceptable driveway would be allowed by the DOT if there's to be a need to be 2 separate driveways. These lots are large enough for the environmental health has no concerns as far as, like you said, they're over 4 acres, so there's no concern as far as an area for an allowed septic.
Okay. I have nothing further to ask.
Great, thank you. Thanks, Keisha. Steve, any questions?
No, I have none.
Very good. So, Missy, you need a motion for approval of this subdivision plat?
Correct.
Very good. Is there a motion?
Make motion to approve the subdivision plat of South River Estates.
Second?
Reminder, I guess you'd say.
Motion and support. Jake?
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Very good. Item number 7 is some appointment recommendations to the Pellet Airport Zoning Board of Adjustment. And we've got in your packet some information from Mike Nardini, City Administrator, City Appellate to Jake Jake, maybe you kind of give us a little background on this?
Very briefly from the, little I know is that, the city is, had this Board of Adjustment, I believe, established for some time, but maybe hasn't had a meeting for a long time, or with appointments, and, have the need or going to basically reestablish this, particular Board of Adjustment, the Pella Airport Zoning Board of Adjustment, so it must have some specific duties outside of the normal Board of Adjustment dealing with the airport. So, they are making appointments, themselves, the city is what I understand, and due to, the location and the agreements in Marion County must have to have 2 appointments as well. Mr. Nosman and Mr. Rolfs are board's current appointments, my understanding, to the normal Pella Board of Adjustment. And so Mike was just wondering to assist in getting this going if they would serve on both boards. So they were reached out to and indicated they would.
Mhm.
So we would have 2 appointments to this new Pella Airport Zoning Board of Adjustment. And if approved, both of Marion County appointments would serve on the normal Board of Adjustment and the Pella Airport Board of Adjustment. So there must be different duties and different responsibilities there on what this is, what each does.
Okay. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, the only other thing that he indicated was because it looks like it's normally 3-year terms, according to that, but they were advised that because it's kind of starting out, there needs to be some staggering of who gets which terms. So there would be potentially a 2-year term appointed and a 4-year term appointed today, moving forward, is what I think the request is from the city.
That's what they're asking for?
Yes.
In Mike's note, he talked about running this by Ed. Did we have a conversation with Ed about this?
Not that I'm aware
I
of.
don't know, is Ed on?
I am on.
Ed, are you familiar with this request at all?
I am not.
Okay. I think before we approve this, I mean, on its face, I don't see what the issue is, but I don't know the interplay between these different boards and what it would mean to have somebody who currently sits on our Board of Adjustment to then really pull almost like double duty or triple duty. I don't know, is there a conflict potential there? I have no idea. So Ed, I may ask you to take a look at this and see if there's any issues we need to be apprised of before we do this.
That's fine. I just will need to sit down with Jake and really understand what is the intent of this board and take a look at some of their minutes from the past just to make sure that we don't have a conflict or potentially exposing us to liability in any way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, that sounds
we
good.
just, for their board, that would be the most helpful thing to understand what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, so if you could do that, Ed, that'd be great. And then we'll go from there. We'll put this on another agenda for further discussion. Steve, did you have a question?
Well, I'm confused. Aren't these boards serving the same purpose?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's why we need some clarity.
My understanding, there must be a definite or a different purpose for them to have 2 different boards, one for airport zoning and then just a normal Board of Adjustment.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're not the same purposes, or they wouldn't need a separate board and wouldn't be starting it up, but I don't know the details.
Yeah, see, and that's why, Steve, for me, I'd kind of like to have Ed take a look at it for the points that Ed raised, conflict and those types of things. We just need to get more information.
But he says that later on in his, that he'd like to have the appointment by December 1st.
Well,
I don't know if that's gonna be able to happen.
probably not gonna happen. So, probably not gonna happen on this one. All right, so I would entertain a motion to close discussion on this pending review of our county attorney, and then we'll add it to an agenda, maybe first meeting of December. We can put it on that agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye. Very good, thank you. Next item, courthouse elevator project and a discussion of when we're going back home.
Hi, Chris.
Hi. December 2nd, we're still on track. So I think what we were proposing was doing an entire courthouse move on the 2nd. I've got plenty of movers lined up and trucks moved up, so we moved the courthouse on Wednesday, the 2nd of December. Departments then have Thursday and Friday to get their house in order. So basically just proposing that we would cease county operations from Wednesday, December 2nd through Friday, December 4th. Reopen to the public again the following Monday.
Okay. Any issues, court,
Yeah.
any of those types of things? Ed, are there any issues with court, if we close from the 2nd to the 4th and reopen Monday?
Kelly is on also with clerk of court.
It's my understanding, I spoke with folks in the clerk's office yesterday. They actually are having their IT people potentially, they're coming down today to meet with Andrew, but then they should be up and running. I have asked Judge Geiter and he has agreed to move all of our Wednesday court. And we are working to move all of our Friday court. The problem, as you guys can probably notice by just looking at a calendar, is we are off Thursday and Friday of this week. So from some statutory deadline problems, there is the potential that there may be individuals that have to have court on those days. It would be few, and I am having a conversation with District Court Judge Mertz later this afternoon about Thursday. Thursday's the most problematic of the 3 days, just because you're talking about felony levels and how quickly they have to be arraigned and the like. And we're trying to be respectful of folks who are in jail. We understand what COVID is doing and the fact that we're having people sit in our jail for an extended period of time. The moral of the story is I cannot guarantee any of you that there will not be people from the public coming in on Thursday for court. I can't. At this point, Judge Mertz is talking about perhaps wanting all of those things to be done remotely. And that's great if we don't have any technical difficulties. So I'm hopeful to have a conversation with her today about continuing those things, but if not, there may be some people walking into the courthouse on Thursday. I'm hopeful that Friday I can get everything moved, pushed back a week or so, but Thursday is kind of out of my control because it's district court.
Okay. Chris, does that pose any potential issues for you? No?
No, because I mean, our long-term goal is to have south entrance only, as the only public entrance to the courthouse going forward. So we're still talking about limiting potential flow for court to just one entrance of the building, which gives other departments the opportunity to, nip and tuck their offices, get things in place, ready to go for Monday. I'm assuming with all of the changes going on, especially as we think about driver's license station effectively being 100% different than it was, we're gonna need multiple days to get things really up and running as it should be. So I don't see any possible reason to say we can't have people wander into the building on Thursday or Friday if they had to have a court appearance.
Okay.
I mean, the assumption would be, and Kelly could better answer this question, if state IT makes sure that their courtrooms are up and going, and that would be the only issue that I could see.
Okay.
But from a physical building issue, we have no issues with that.
Okay.
Good morning. Yes, our IT is ready to go. Hopefully that, bearing no problems, we should on Wednesday have all of our computers and everything ready to go. If and when somebody does come in for court on Thursday. I did talk with Judge Mertz also with Ed, and she is hopefully, like he said, going to do everything remotely, pending that does work. But our goal is to not have as many people potentially on Thursday, but it would be a possibility that there would be some coming in.
Okay. All right.
But we should be ready to go barring anything on Thursday.
Very good.
Mark?
Yeah.
Mark, this is Missy.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know, I talked with Steve, I talked with Chris, and I had gotten a new desk from Bailey's in Atumwa. So the only two things I have to move back are my two big file cabinets, and they are willing to move them back. So they will be moving them back today. So I will be going back up to the courthouse today or tomorrow. That way IT, it's just one less office that has to be handled through on Wednesday. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know.
So what I'm hearing, we're gonna have some operational, any move like this is going to have some ebb and flow to it. We'll have to work through some details, but I think the basic premise is we make a motion to close general courthouse operations, but for what we said could be the exceptions for court from the 2nd to the 4th, and then resume on that following Monday and make our move back.
Just for a point of clarification, I'd like everybody to understand the definition of move-in ready. It's probably not going to be the same to everybody. I don't want to speak for Chris, but I know from my point of view, from being up there working, we're trying to prioritize what needs to be done to make the move and make the offices function. There will be things come up that we will have to do while they occupy the room. So just bear with us because we can't do everything at once.
Very good. Thank you, Steve. Good. Well, any other discussion? Chris, anything else you want to add?
Hey, Mark, I have one other comment.
Yes, sir.
I just specifically, Chris, is there going to be, I think in the past, maintenance provided like some moving boxes or like, can we get some big trash cans to throw trash away? And then I know we've talked about things that aren't moving back. Specifically, we have some window air conditioner units that we used here. What do you want us to do with those items before? Do you just want us to leave those things here and then over time before the city knocks this building down, you guys will have the ability to come get those items and do with it as you see fit? I reached out to the engineer's office to see if any of those shops would want a window air conditioning unit and the like, but I'm just trying to think about, can we just get some big trash bags or I don't want to fill up the dumpster if that's not what you guys want us to do. So could you just provide us a little direction, please?
I certainly can, Ed. Thank you for bringing that stuff up. So number one, if it doesn't need to go back to the courthouse, obviously we don't want to take it back because we have done a great job of purging the building of unneeded and trashy things. My intent is after we move back in is to have a conversation with the city about keeping, above freezing temperatures in the building for an additional 30 days, which would give maintenance staff the opportunity to take the things that are salvageable out of East Elementary School and find storage for them or repurpose them somewhere within the county. As far as boxes go, I originally understood that the county had purchased a bunch of cardboard boxes to move out of the courthouse originally. Did those disappear? Does anybody know?
Disappeared.
I think some of those got folded up and put back in that
Okay.
room, that one room back there, Chris.
Perfect.
I believe that's what happened to some of them.
And Jake, if you were, do you know how many of you guys originally had bought? Because the auditor's office had ordered a whole bunch of legal boxes so we could package things up and move them out. I can't remember the number, but there was a massive amount of cardboard boxes within the county for our move. And my assumption was we still had access to all those boxes. If someone knows where they went, that's on right now, that'd be great, because it would be nice to have some of the smaller things prepackaged. It's a lot more convenient for the moving company than trash bags, but if we have to go the trash bag route, I'm fine with that too. I just don't want to see us get into a circumstance where we need to purchase more boxes if we already purchased boxes once. Does anybody know where they went?
This is Karen, and 2 Men in a Truck did bring some boxes along with stickers that we were supposed to put on our stuff so they knew what room they went into. My office also bought some boxes for us to use. I think most of those boxes were recycled. Just because, for 8 months, where are you gonna store all those empty boxes? But 2 Men in a Truck did drop off some. They weren't as heavy as the banker boxes that you can buy, but they did get us by.
Well, if we get an opportunity today, department heads, if you have an opportunity to look around your offices, maybe see where potentially banker boxes were stored. My assumption was we were going to hang on to those since they were purchased, for the simple fact we're moving back to the courthouse at some point.
I could be wrong, Chris, but I think we ought to check that back room.
Yes.
I think some of that went back there, but some of that might be the cities too, that was all previously there, but I thought we put some back there.
We'll figure out where the boxes went. At the end of the day, I don't see a reason for us to make a double purchase on boxes if we already purchased them once. We'll go to trash bags if we have to.
Mark, is 2 Men in a Truck giving us the stickers again? This is selfish on my part, but based on the fact that my office is moving back to 3 different offices, how do you want us to say where we're going?
So, Ed, that's really a good question as well. We don't have to go back the same way that we left. The simple fact of the matter is we moved out over the course of 4 weeks last time. And because we were only moving certain offices at certain times, we had multiple moving crews working in the same office. That is not going to be the case on the way back. Basically, every assigned office will have its own moving crew. So you're not going to have to use stickers or anything like that. You'll have your own truck, your own crew, and that crew will be responsible for moving that said office back to proper location. So we don't have to go through the hassle of stickering everything and all that. Basically have your own personal and small items packaged up by the morning of the 2nd of December, and a crew that is assigned to your office will take it from there.
You can handle that.
But it'll be county attorney office. They'll have like one
And
person assigned, not individual.
Very
Okay.
simple. My assumption would be that one person from each office, while people are overseeing the packing of these, another person could be at the courthouse overseeing the placement of products.
Yep.
I think we can streamline it very efficiently.
Okay, good.
Chris, are you anticipating on that Wednesday morning that they'll be here at 8, or what time do you anticipate we should have people here to be in the streamlining process?
My hope would be, Ed, is that we have most of all of our small stuff packed up. That'd be my expectation for all departments prior to Wednesday morning. So maybe starting on Tuesday afternoon. And then my anticipation from there is I'll contact 2 Men in a Truck. I will get a firm time that they will show up in the morning. Most cases they're there right at 8 o'clock. They will come a lot earlier if we ask them to. And then I'll give you all a heads up next week at what time I would anticipate that they would be at our location at East Elementary to commence the move. And then I would just ask that somebody, if they decide to come at 7 or 7:30, being that this is a fairly large task of moving the entire courthouse back in one afternoon. If we have to have someone there at 7, let's have someone there at 7 if that's when they want to start. I just need one person to begin the oversee of the moving out of your offices. As you all experienced the first time we moved, they are a very efficient moving company. They're going to do it very quickly. They're also going to do it in a way that makes sense to put things back properly and to be good stewards of those items. So I wouldn't think we're going to move a truck back to the courthouse before 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. I would assume we're going to be packing for the most part, kind of a couple hours in the morning, depending on the size of crew that each office gets. So.
May I make a suggestion,
You sure
Chris?
can, Steve.
If there's some concern on what material goes in what room, why don't we just take some painter's tape And 1, 2, 3, if you got 3 rooms, we'll put a piece of tape over that room, that door, 1. And number 1 matches the box that goes in that room if there's a concern.
That's very easily done.
Does that sound fair, Ed? Or is that
I don't have any concerns. I'm just thinking of it as when movers have moved my home, that I'm at my house when it gets there and the guys run in with the stuff and we say it goes in that room or the other room. That makes perfect sense to me. I didn't realize, Chris, thank you for clarifying that there will be a truck and 2 guys with that truck who are assigned the county attorney's office. And therefore it isn't a situation where my stuff may be on the same, Karen's on the screen. So in the same truck as Karen's and it can get mixed up. Final question, and then I'll shut up. What about our computer equipment? Is it the same as it was before, that they are moving our monitors and our computers? We just need to unattach them or disconnect the cords, but we do not need to put them in boxes. Is that the same again?
It's gonna be done the exact same way that it left. I'm gonna have 2 men in the truck, and each person from each office will oversee where that computer goes on what desk. That really streamlined things for IT last time when we moved out, having that monitor and that PC, applicable printers and all those things on each desk where they belong. So all they had to do was go around and hook those things up. So that would be the same anticipation that I would have for this move, Ed, is let's go ahead. I like Steve's idea of the painter tape. Let's say it's your computer, just put Ed's computer on it. So we know when we get over to the courthouse, your PC, your monitor, your laptop, whatever you don't have with you that's getting packed up would actually get placed on your desk for IT then.
Great, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Very good.
Hey,
Thank you.
Chris, this is Andrew. We had talked a little bit about the possibility of bringing a truck down on Tuesday as well for some of us, like my IT and some other stuff that might be ready to go early. I know we had talked about, well, that would only work if you guys are ready for it, carpet wise, paint wise, etc., in the courthouse. How are we sitting on that? Or do you think that that's a possibility still, or not really?
I think there's still a possibility of that, Andrew. I like the idea of getting IT there a day prior. As you're well aware, we still have 2 spots within your office space that need to be carpeted. A heat pump needs to be installed in your new office. Some odds and ends cleanup, things of that nature. So depending on how much we work this weekend, I'm guessing there's a good possibility we could still proceed with having you guys moved over on Tuesday. Worst case scenario, you have a fairly small amount of stuff. We have a enclosed trailer. If we needed to, you guys could disassemble your desk. The guys and I could come over and help carry it out to our trailer, haul it into your office spaces on Tuesday, and you and Andrew could put them together and be ready. So basically, we could move your stuff over. You guys could set your office up that day. Worst case scenario.
Sure. Very good. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. I'm sure there'll be other questions as we get closer to the move. So let's just make sure we coordinate. Thank you, Chris, for organizing and getting us on track to move back. So with that, we probably need a motion then to officially cease courthouse operations from the 2nd to the 4th for the purpose of the move.
I'll make the
Comfortable
motion.
with that, Chris?
Absolutely.
Make the motion.
Is there support?
Second?
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
Very good. Thank you. Updates? Steve?
Well, Chris has been keeping me very busy. I would certainly kudos to everybody that's busted their behinds to get this done. It's been quite a project, and I'm very proud of everybody that's dived in and helped.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Keisha?
Update, planning and zoning, they approved the final plat for phase 1 of Prairie Ridge subdivision.
Okay.
So moving along on that. I also want to say thank you. I am very thankful for all the hard work, whether it's COVID, election, elevator project, just to name a few. All the citizens of even in our county that have stepped up. We have a great place to live. We have a great place to work within our county. And thank you, because this has not been an easy time. But everybody has pitched in. And it's so important that we have a courthouse that's going to last a very long time. And once we get to the point where we can maybe have a grand opening of some sort, I hope that we can do that.
Very good. Thank you, Keisha. So just a couple things to think about. The budget is coming up. Jake, do we have a timeline?
I'm sorry, I do not.
I put you on the spot.
The normal rotation would be, the worksheets would go out after Thanksgiving. In a few weeks, those will be back in first of the year. I enter them and give them to you guys. Gotta think about that a little bit, with the, last year was the first year we had to do the secondary public notice of that type of thing.
Yes.
But they also gave us another month to do the whole process, I believe. So, be thinking of, I don't know what type of meetings or how you want to proceed with that this year. Yeah, worksheets going out after Thanksgiving into the second week of January or so. We'll be ready to roll if you guys want to, and just keep it moving as much as possible if we can.
Okay.
Yeah, some time to digest and have conversation if you want, and then, yeah, we'd have to have that, I gotta think about that first notice is ahead, of the, depending on the level of expense, I believe. It's a level of expense.
I'll catch up with you and we'll talk some more about that, just to get it out there for everybody though, to be thinking about budget, staffing, raises, health insurance. We're working on rates and things of that nature. So all of that in December, we'll be talking about that in a preliminary way to get ourselves ready for January. Reviews for HR, please get your annual reviews done and get copies to Lisa when those are completed. We still want to encourage you to get those things done. From a business standpoint and a legal standpoint, we really need to have copies of those in HR. Doesn't mean you can't retain the original as a manager, but we need to have a copy of that. So please get on that. I've got a report here on where we're at in that process. And I'll be talking to everybody about that. VA, for the Board of Supervisors, just be thinking about all the process that we just went through with Prairie Ridge. We will start that process for the VA in December. So we'll start thinking about that. I'll be talking with Michael to get all that documentation starting to work on all that same administrative kind of process that we did for Prairie Ridge. So that's coming up in December. Okay. And that'll probably carry through December into January as we work on that piece as well. After that, we'll work on a timeline, and we'll have a timeline for, of course, first financing, and then it'll be a timeline for actual, when we start work on the site. And we'll wait till we get back in the courthouse. We'll take a breather in December, and first quarter, that's when we'll hit that pretty hard.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
There's a comment. From Tyler.
Is this different last year?
He's already got his done.
Yeah, he's got his done for.
I can talk to him. I'll
Yeah.
talk.
Tyler,
I'll talk to you.
Lisa will call you. Thank you for the question, though. All right.
Can you, I mean, I guess, Lisa, can you let us all know that? That's a good question, just for everybody's knowledge.
Yeah, I think she'll talk to everybody, Jason. Maybe send an email out to everybody.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, you bet. All right. I think that's all I have.
Okay.
So with that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second. I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
I'm gonna mind someplace else.
That's all right, man.
So, McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye,
Johnner,
Aye.
very good, thank you, we are adjourned.
So it's the one that does it